live reaction with Corey Holcomb and MTR. Make sure y'all tap in with their channels as well. Let's go.
Be as well off as I am. I don't want you to be doing good or just as good as me. So I see that in that girl also, but to luck with her. You know what I'm saying? Did you hear how I said that? To luck with her.
To luck.
Yeah, it's probably tough that she's got to deal with these situations, you know, these character flaws in front of the damn world. But, you know, someone needs to pull it to the side and, you know, have a real conversation with her, the same way that you having a real conversation with me. And I appreciate that, which is why, again, I say that platforms like yours is just so necessary, so needed, bro.
You brought to attention Michelle Obama's podcast.
Shout out Souls of Thought in the chat. What up, bro? 333.
Because I saw it and I just, my mouth dropped at what I heard her say. What did you hear her say? I know it was a lot of things, but what was the main thing that made your mouth drop?
Yeah. So for folks that didn't see, so Michelle Obama now has a podcast, and where she just interviews like random people, and she had one with, I believe it was Angie Martinez, and it was towards the end of the show. And throughout the show, at random times, they were talking about family structure, raising boys, raising girls, and kind of the difference between the two. Angie Martinez, and I'm paraphrasing a little bit, so excuse me. Angie Martinez asked her, so, you know, I bet you wish you could have raised the boy. And then Michelle Obama fired back, oh, no, that I raise a boy. But raising a boy would have been like raising another Barack. I could never. Which is
yo. Let me interject here. Why does Big Mike disrespect Barack every chance he get? All of this is alleged. All of this is for entertainment purposes. All of this is for content creation purposes. Everything I'm gonna say here is for entertainment purposes, and it's all alleged. Why does Big Mike disrespect Barack every chance that he get? I truly believe that Mike has some resentment toward Barack because Barack has the position that he has. He can't live in his truth. And when I say he, I'm talking about both of them. They can't live in their truth. They'll always tell you the truth and they'll hide it in plain sight. There's an interview, I mean, not an interview, but there's a speech that Barack gave that y'all could look up where he calls Michelle Michael and doesn't correct it, just finishes the speech. It's almost like he didn't hear himself make the mistake. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not one of them people where you got to tell me the truth twice. I heard you. They hide in plain sight all the time. That's the best place to hide. They taught y'all to question reality so they can stand right in front of you and tell you, I ain't right here. That's the reality of it. But before I get too deep into that, let's see what else they got to say.
So crazy to me, right?
Didn't she say that? Ain't that crazy?
Crazy. Crazy. The literal the leader of the free world times two. Right?
Kidding me? Her arguably, husband. Her husband.
Probably one of the most famous black men in the world. And what does that signal when Barack Obama is still not good enough?
Man, I was just, before Corey responds to that, I was just on my dog Souls of Thought panel last night for a moment, and I appreciate them having me up. Make sure y'all tap in with Souls of Thought on YouTube for sure. I was just on their panel yesterday, and I literally was just making this point to one of the great women that they have on their panel. I was just making that point, and I was saying that good enough is no longer good enough. A lot of sisters these days are not appeased by any man. There's always something more shiny or something else they feel like they could reach for, or something else that may be better in different ways that's available to them, or whatever the case may be. But oftentimes, a lot of times, good enough is not good enough, which is what leads to men, even in long-term sustaining relationships, being in a situation where they're suffering in silence. Because if your good enough isn't good enough, then obviously that's going to have a trickle-down effect, right? You're not going to be spoke to the way you want to be spoke to all the time. You won't be treated the way you want to be treated all the time. And largely, one of the things that's most important to men in long-term relationships is feeling appreciated. And if you're made to feel like you're not good enough, then you're damn sure not being made to feel like you're appreciated. That's the truth. So it's interesting to hear MTR, another content creator from a whole different part of the world, making the same exact point. But all of us men are online saying all of this stuff. We don't know each other or anything. We're all online saying the same stuff because none of it is true. Let's continue.
I already know what you're saying. See, I'm gonna try to say something about this and be as kind as I can, which I don't know how good that's gonna be. I've never seen Barack Obama do nothing but hold her in the air and give her praise. In fact, when he speaks on her, I see proud in his eye. Mm-hmm. Now let's turn it around. This is his wife, and I see and hear resentment as she speaks, and I think the resentment grew as she got more and more famous. It brought her, it made her cocky. So now she's not afraid to speak her mind on this man. And
Corey Holcomb is from Chicago, like I'm from Chicago. And it's crazy that I didn't, like I told y'all, I didn't watch this all the way through. This is a purely authentic response. So my pause, play, pause, and all of that, these are genuine moments I'm having here. This isn't pre-planned. It's a situation where I just use the same terminology. I just said, I believe that Michelle resents Barack. Resentment has, you know, when somebody resents somebody else, that shows itself in a lot of different ways. But if you're a person who has any level of understanding of like human psychology and things like that, or human studies or body language, or even just the way people speak on themselves in public, it's all very telling. And if you know how to pay attention to those things, then you'll know more about a person than what they feel like they're letting on, you know. And then the people who do understand it, they know how to give you what they want to give you, and you're getting what they want you to have. But most people aren't conscious in that way. So the fact that he's able to see that, I'm not surprised. Corey Holcomb is my favorite comedian. I don't think he's the best comedian of all time, but he's my favorite comedian of all time for sure. And he used the same word. So I just feel like that's interesting. There's resentment there. Others can see it.
And I'm going to say something about, God dog it. It's so hard for me to speak from the heart because I know people are going to get mad, but I'm going to say it. Barack Obama, in my opinion, he can't be trusted because I believe he has a fetish for men. And I believe if you have a fetish for men, you really can't be yourself in front of people. You can't. I mean, I'm just saying, it's like, Mr. Barack Obama, I give you respect because I don't want to look like I'm hating. Did y'all hear what I said? I give you
Listen to me. Objectively speaking through facts and not feelings, the United States of America has the most homosexuals that it's ever had after the 8 years of the Obama administration. This is all alleged and for content creation purposes. All alleged and for content creation purposes. There are the most people living outside of natural order, which is man and woman, which is you were born with certain body parts, you live your life that way. There are more people operating outside of natural order than there ever has been in this country following the 8 years of the Obama administration, allegedly. Like, if again, the truth is it. I promise you guys, the truth isn't hard to see. You were just taught to question it. Stop questioning it. Listen with your eyes. I'm gonna keep telling y'all that. Listen with your eyes, all three. Your GPS system, that's your gut. That's the true intuition. But your gut won't work right for you if you poison your gut. So detox your body. I don't want to get too deep. Let's continue with the reaction. Let's go.
Respect, because I don't want to look like I'm hating, but it looks like you're fighting a demon. And your wife, in my opinion, really resents you for that, because she already has to deal with the fact that so many women don't never want to say this. They're jealous of manhood. Manhood comes with the freedom that a woman could never have. Women have to bear the children. And I think that this is that's never really said. Women have to bear the children. I believe a lot of women don't like the fact that they have to bear the children. But this is, if you go off what the Bible talks about, this is what happened after Adam and Eve got kicked out of the garden. They both were kicked out of the garden, according to the Bible now, okay? And I'm just saying.
I don't know if I agree with that. I feel bad for men. I think men have it really rough.
Yeah, I know you think that, D, but I'm saying this is a fact. In the Bible, it says,
oh, that's a cute picture of them.
They're going to yearn for men. I think women have issues with their yearning for men. There's a wicked spirit inside of them that makes them regret the yearn for men, because no matter how much they talk about men, dick stay up in them. I had to say it like that. I couldn't sugarcoat that. No matter how much these women talk about, oh, men, this, that, and the other, dick stay up in them.
Hey, you know, I think Corey Holcomb's brand of comedy is what gives me an example to look at of an avenue to have the level of success that I'm cool with being my authentic self. I want to stop right here on this reaction just to say that. I think Corey Holcomb he's been my favorite comedian for most of my adulthood. Him being able to achieve the level of success that he has, being authentic and saying the unpopular truths out loud, was something for me to look at and say, I can get online, be me, and win. So shout out to Corey Holcomb for that. Now, in regards to his take on things, I agree. I won't even go no farther. I don't want to, because demonetization get funny sometimes, so I don't even want to dive into that too much, but I'll just say I agree with what he thinks Mr. Man is fighting. I don't think he's fighting, a demon. I think he's living his life behind closed doors, and everybody's not uncomfortable doing so, but maybe he is, maybe Barack is, but more so than anything, I don't think Barack is uncomfortable. I think that Mike is uncomfortable. See, a lot of times the people who want to be out the closet and forced to stay in there, they start beating on the door, knocking, letting people know, hey, somebody in this closet, somebody come let me out. Somebody, I swore I wouldn't do it, but somebody else free me. Yeah. So I don't necessarily think Barack's struggling with it. I think Mike's struggling with it, and the resentment shows now that Michelle Obama, all alleged, all for content creation purposes, has a platform. I think the resentment is becoming public.
You know what I'm saying? They mad. They got the pain during labor, the menstrual cycle, all this stuff that comes with being a woman. I mean, I'm just saying, it's like we have dominance over you women. You know what I'm saying? You perpetrate like you have dominance over us until something happens. And then when something happens, it's like, oh, I need help from a man. You get what I'm saying? They struggle with who they are instead of realizing this is my purpose on this planet. I don't need to struggle against it. I need to embrace my role as a woman. So Michelle Obama, you can just see it in her eyes. She wants to be a man. But
wants to be? I don't know, chat. Y'all talk to me, chat. Y'all talk to me, chat.
She not.
She probably wanted his power. I mean, but I feel.
Darlene, what you talking about? I want to make sure you get your word in.
I've listened to both their books, and I believe that she wanted to be just as powerful as he was, but she ended up having to marry him. So she ended up being, the wife. I've listened to both their books.
What was she again, D? She was the wife, right?
She was the wife.
She was the wife.
Right. And I believe that and this was way back when, of course, when they were younger. I mean, of course, the man had dreams and goals and all that. And I think maybe she didn't even really truly believe it was going to happen for him.
Boss lady, I saw you say it comes natural to us. We okay, Corey. Boss lady, you not like a lot of the women.
Yeah. Women who are rare, y'all got to stop doing that too. Women who are rare, it's best for y'all to understand that y'all are rare, because sometimes y'all will speak up, but y'all will say the wrong thing. And we need the rare women, the women who are still single and fit to be wives, and who, have less baggage and deplorable decision-making in their past that's weighing them down in the marketplace. Those women who are rare and out there, when y'all do speak up, y'all got to do a better job of understanding that y'all rare. You can't jump out the window and be like, we don't do that. No, y'all do. When we talk about y'all, that is short for you all. So when we talk about 100% of y'all, vast majority of y'all do that. You need to understand that you in that 10 percentile or that 5 percentile or that 15 percentile. You need to understand that, sister. And I admire you for it. I'm grateful for you for it. We appreciate those diamond in the roughs, those precious gemstones that are still out there. We appreciate those women. We big them up on this platform. But when we talking about the vast majority and how they moving and what they doing right and what they doing wrong and the results that we're getting, when we start having that conversation, it becomes a lot more linear. But yeah, the rare women got to stop jumping up talking like they the majority. Because what happens when y'all do that is the females that don't even belong in the conversation with y'all, they be like, girl, boom, right? Like, you should not be agreeing with her. Okay, Jezebel? You know what I'm saying? Type shit. Let's go.
Out here who feel as though being a woman is a burden.
Yeah. I said this before on a piece of content. I said a lot of women look at, shout out Trippy in the chat. Welcome, brother. Make sure everybody heavy on that like button. But it's true. It's true. A lot of modern women describe the responsibilities of womanhood like it's just the most cumbersome, burdenous, if that's a word, burdenous damn job in the world. It's like, yo, just you fulfilling your natural duties on the planet Earth is not a burden, fam. But that just goes back to my point that I've been making, and I'm going to continue to make it till I see it be something different. We are one of the weakest batches of humans to ever come across this motherfucker. Technology has a big part to do with it. Technology has provided us with so many conveniences that we are just a softer brand of mankind. Facts. Feminism didn't help. Stop the bullying. That whole movement didn't help. Everything that made people tough, everything that turned boys into men, y'all tried to remove it out of society. And now we got a whole bunch of, dudes that don't know if they girls or not, trying to tell women that they women like them, and the women looking at them like it was cool when y'all was just a gay bestie, but now you trying to call you me. It's crazy. It's a conflict out in society. Everybody lost and confused and don't know what's going on. And then can't nobody talk about it because it's a problem. Trippy said, why is she the only first lady to truly have this feeling, urge to say these things about her husband? Even Hillary didn't do that. Well, she's the only first lady that also is something else. I'm not going to say it because I want black women to stay subscribed to me. Trippy said, as much as people say be a man, there should be a woman thing as well when it comes to doing their duties. Oh, man. Trippy, you trying to make me crash out, dog. Trippy that came in the chat and chose violence, everybody. Welcome, Trippy.
Natural born crash dummy. And he go crash out. He go crash out.
Yeah, Trippy trying to take it too far today. I've been in a very subdued space today. I've been chilling. And here he come with the noise. Let's go. The classic chat. We a rare kind. Let's go.
There's burden that come with being a woman. There's burden that comes with being a man. But what you have to do as a woman to live a respectable life is something that I feel like a lot of women really regret. They will talk about what somebody don't want and how men are bad and don't love and all that. But most of them have killed their babies because it was inconvenient. Huh?
Listen, yeah,
it takes somebody cold to kill their baby.
Yeah,
I ain't never killed a baby.
Like it's not a baby.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna let you cook, little bro. Go ahead. Okay. What you think about this? Because I put a lot out there. I'm sorry.
You put so much out there, but yeah, but the stats is actually crazy in regards to that. Like a lot of people don't know this, but in New York, there was more self-deletions of babies than births last year.
Man,
which is an incredible stat if you think about it.
Incredible stat. See, I heard. Yeah. Could you just say that one?
Murder she wrote. Murder she wrote. Murder she wrote. Did he just say what I think he said? Come on, man. They want to ignore the numbers because it's inconvenient to talk about. I brought up a lot of stats last night on Souls of Thought podcast. It's on my live stream as well. It's in my live database as well. If you want to go to Souls, see the whole thing, make sure you tap in on that. I brought a lot of stats and a lot of information that are the results of our behaviors to the table. And those numbers were dismissed as, moot points or something like that. But come on, man. Okay. When my man say one of the largest states on the United States of America last year had more deletions than births. And then I come on my platform and be like, the nature of the vast majority of women is evil. Y'all say, oh, you hate women. Is it a judgment or an assessment? Help me. Brother. That's crazy. Stifling. Jeez Louise. All right, let's go.
One more time.
There was more self-deletions, baby self-deletions. Sorry,
he being nice
in a way. I'm trying to
bitches kill kids more than kids.
Trippy said the woman you were speaking to last night must have gotten to you last night. Classic. Why you say that, Trippy? Why you say that? Nah, she didn't get to me. Shit, I thought I cooked. It was a honey bake, but it was the wrong environment to cook though, because it was like 3 men on the panel and then 1 woman, or 4 men and 1 woman. So then it when you get to cooking too good, it automatically seemed like you ganging up. Like the rest of the guys can't even chime in and be like, I ain't gonna lie, he right, because it instantly turned into why y'all ganging up on her, and that's not what it was. It's just I was making a lot of times. I'm a fact-based debater, so a lot of times people debate. If you debate me and you want to have a chance at winning, don't bring your feelings with you. I'm a fact-based debater. So when you rebuttal me, you got to rebuttal with facts. You can't rebuttal with how you feel about my facts, because you getting toasted at that point. You see what I'm saying? Well, even though everything you said is can be proven, I just don't agree. Oh, it's an L. It's an L. What you mean? You don't agree with reality? That ain't gonna get you nowhere. Not with me. Trippy said, nah, you did great talking to her. I was just messing with you about not wanting to go too hard. Oh, no, I mean, it's a beautiful woman. We ain't gonna go too hard on a beautiful woman now. You know what I'm saying? But I did have to, speak to the congregation. You feel me? My loyalty, I always say, my loyalty is to the truth. When men are wrong, I'm gonna tell you. Like I said yesterday, when she was like, you act like it's all women. I'm like, no, all the shit that's left is on women. Everything y'all wanted us to fix, we fixed it. Y'all said we weren't making enough money. Dudes working 60 hours a week on average. And that's all ethnicities. Men out here putting it together because the economy toe up. Men out here putting it together. Dudes is working 50 to 60 hours a week. That's a fact. Most dudes is having more than one job. That's a fact. Y'all can go research this. Let me know when I start capping and making stuff up. You know what I'm saying? So y'all wanted us to go get some money. Dudes out here trying to get them some money. Y'all wanted men to take care of their children. The stats say most black men are there for their children, are parenting their children. That's a fact. Y'all can look it up. The majority of black men who have children are parenting their children. And also the majority of black men who father children are married men. That's a fact. Go look it up. So when they try to paint us a certain way, and then you come to the table with stuff that you can prove to disprove what the propaganda is, they get to a stuck point. It's like, damn, now we really do got to look at ourselves. Yes, that's all that's left. We've addressed our part. You told us, we heard you. All the men that's worth talking about, we heard you. We've adjusted. All the men that's worth talking about, we have made the adjustments. The men that y'all like dating may not have made the adjustments, but at that point, it's not on us. At that point, it's not on us. Because it's ain't shit women available, it's good women available. We are responsible for, as adults, for vetting. Same with the woman. You are an adult woman, you are responsible for vetting. And I'm not speaking specifically to the conversation yesterday, I'm speaking in general. But it's just one of those things where the facts is the facts. You know? You'd have to, and then there's a lack of empathy. Sometimes you have to stop the woman and say, wait. You know what I'm saying? Wait. Be a man for a second. Put yourself in a man's shoes for a second. Be a person who maybe be the average man for a second. Let's talk about the average, the good old-fashioned average man, because the average man is the majority. Let me bring it in real quick. The average man is the majority, right? So the good old-fashioned average man who may not have had any luck or any real success in the way of women until maybe late high school, early college. If y'all look at the movies that were made in the 90s, in the early 2000s, dudes was trying to get their first piece junior, senior year. They was trying to get close to getting their first piece, if they even got it. Now, you look at the movies, they doing hard, you know, lines at the house parties in 8th grade. Art reflects reality in a lot of ways. So things have just gotten a lot more slutty outside altogether. You know what I mean? And so I'm not wrong for telling people to slow down. And if a woman had to put herself in a man's shoes, she wouldn't want to go all the way into her early adulthood and finally become visible to the opposite sex and then want to be intentional with somebody and get met with a bunch of females who are completely disinterested in being loyal, faithful, monogamous, or anything, because they in their youth and they prime and they phase, they're liberated, or they run into joints that want to be intentional too, but they come with 2 shorties, 2 baby daddies, 3 shorties, 2 baby daddies. It's like a relay. It's like a relay. You got the 4x3, the 4x4, 4x1. They coming with baby daddies, babies, all type of different shit. You know what I'm saying? So put yourself in a man's shoes and tell us that we unreasonable for pointing out certain things and holding y'all accountable for certain things. And it's just inconvenient that some of the certain things that we hold women accountable for as black men are things that they cannot reverse. That's the part that's inconvenient about the truth. And I think that's where the conversations always start shifting in other directions. We start talking around reality. We start talking about how things ought to be, not how things are, et cetera, et cetera. So, but yeah, it's always good to bounce the POVs around. Trippy said, woman always says it's both sides that need to improve, but they never use stats to back up what we need to improve. Now, that doesn't mean we shouldn't always be improving, though. Facts. Very balanced response. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Yeah, I mean, men should always be, everybody should be striving to improve and be the highest and best version of themselves, you know, for sure, on an individual level. And then if everybody doing it on an individual level, it by side effect, it happens at a mass level. Trippy said the only way a woman can relate to a man is if they have a son, and they have to have real love for their son to do that. The only way a woman will relate. But I don't know, man. I don't even know if having a son even helps. I don't, because a lot of times, like if a woman got a son and she got to raise him alone without a male presence, you know what I mean? She gonna raise a soft ass nigga in 9 out of 10 times. She gonna raise a very soft brand of man 9 out of 10 times. Need a man in the house. Need a man in the house. Got to show him how to be tough, how to be orderly, how to be hygienic, how to be militant in certain ways. He needs to see an example of stoicism. He needs to see an example of how to handle a woman's emotions tactfully. All these things are things that, you know, you don't even necessarily got to sit down and say, but some of the examples are just, we're products of our examples, products of our environment, you know? But I don't even know if women gain empathy through having a son. I don't even know if that's the case. You might be right, Trippy. I ain't saying I'm right. I'm just saying I don't know. I don't know if I agree or disagree with you. I'm on the fence about that one, bro. Real talk. Interesting though, for sure. Let's get back. Let's see what else they got to say. Then we're going to move on. We got a couple more segments. This been about 30 minutes. Let's go.
Kids were born.
He's looking at
There
his
it is.
monetization. So.
And that's crazy. And, you know, so it's like, it's interesting is because the way that it's framed within media is to call men the aggressive ones, the murderers, they do all of these, you can't walk out in the street without a man like accosting you. Meanwhile, in private, that's happening at a rate more than births, which is insane. But I wanted to get back to your main point, because I thought it was genius that the idea that there's a degree of resentment there. But you know, like the movement that supplants that is feminism, like modern day feminism, not like old school feminism when it was just about equality. But a lot of the tropes, right, of modern day feminists, it's like this equalization to men. Right. So there's like a resentment that Barack was able to go out there and create something. And then she's trying these really subtle, passive aggressive ways, like these really damaging, incendiary ways in order to get back at him. Meanwhile, we wouldn't know anything about Michelle Obama if it wasn't for Barack being a winner.
We're going to stop it right there. Trippy said, I agree. My dad wasn't in my life growing up, but I had many father figures. My mom told me she wouldn't want me dating a single mother, though. That's when I knew she was looking in my best interest. Yeah, and that's rare. But that's dope, though. That's dope of your mom to be able to, hold up the mirror. That's what I'm saying. These rare qualities, we gotta acknowledge that they still exist, but we do have to acknowledge that they don't exist by and large. You know what I'm saying? That's only fair. We gotta operate in reality, y'all. It's the only way we're gonna get the results we want in reality. If we operate in delusion, you'll only have your results in delusion. It'll look like it, but it'll never be it. And that's just where we're gonna leave that at. But in closing, in regards to this reaction video, so we can move on to the next segment, I just want to say that if the mixed race black-ish president of the United States can't get respect from his woman, then what's the hope for the rest of us niggas out here? We're going to end it on that. If you like what you just saw, support the channel. Make sure you subscribe, like, and jump in the comments. Talk to me so we could crack these codes. If you want to support the channel monetarily, go to my website and cop some merch, www.theclassiccodes.com. Or you can shoot me a Cash App. Either way, stick to the codes.
Classic codes, I ain't taking it slow. Forgive me, Lord, I woke up in that mode. Whether